Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, kings, queens, peasants, and pussy poppers. It's your boy Cliff the Gift, slanging that wood, not that stick. Your man might keep it 100, but you see me, I'ma give you that extra inch, and we are in the midst of a pandemic, but we gonna still give y'all some of that good, cool, and raw shit. I'm here with my two guys, and I'm gonna let them introduce themselves in this bitch.
What's going on, family? It's your main man, T Rich. You motherfucking punk ass, filthy dog. Bitch. Hey, I just want to shout out my nigga Cliff's Natural right there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you
my
see
nigga,
that?
He's picked his fro
Saucy.
out. You know what I'm saying?
Saucy.
And, you know what I'm saying? We rocking with him with these quarantine cuts.
I'm staying quarantined, man. I'm trying to remain safe.
My barber tapped my line and let me know he in town Sunday. So
yeah, my barber said he is not cutting indefinitely. Indefinitely out of the shop. I think my nigga's going back to Jamaica, to be real.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So I might have to fuck with your barber, bro.
I mean, might have to, bro.
Hey, really and truthfully, getting a cut is like finding a good drug dealer.
It is.
You gotta find a nigga who you can trust, who got a good product and gonna keep you safe and not overdose you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta keep it on the low where you got it from.
Indeed.
Don't do drugs, kids.
In light of that, it's your boy Young Lil, aka Young Lily, also known as the Black MacGyver and Mr. 420 itself. Man, what's going on, people?
Man, what we gonna talk about tonight? In recent news, we have had Lil Boosie with a string of things going on. Like he has been viral and hometown hero. Shout out to Boo. Like honestly and truthfully, man. Outside of this, he's
Cliff's idol, you guys.
Yeah, I fucks with him, bro. Like I really fucks with Boosie, but I can't get behind this one. I'm gonna just play the clip for y'all, man, and we gonna play it right here.
Y'all tripping. That ain't my son. That nigga grown back there. And there's two that was on here. And what? He's allowed to see pussy, fuck pussy, eat pussy, all that. He's 16 years old. He trained to fuck pussy, eat pussy, all that. Yeah. So don't get to talking about my son. I got my son's dick sucked early. I got that bitch sucked early. Yeah. All my nephews. Ask any one of my nephews or my son who got them they first head. Big dog. Yeah. Ask any of my nephew who got them they first head. Big dog. Yeah. I been got my son dick sucked. My 9-year-old, 10-year-old, I showed all of them how to put on rubber. Before you even start having sex, I done showed my sons how to put on rubber. Ain't finna get my son no motherfucking shit out here. I'm training them boys right. Ask in them my nephew. Ask in them. Ask my son. Yeah. They were 12, 13. They got head. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. Hell yeah, I got my fucking son dick sucked.
Well, with hearing what Boosie had to say about how he has raised his kids,
nigga.
I'm gonna just start with Jalil, man. You seem like you got the most on your mind to say. How do you feel about them statements?
I feel like those statements should have. Fuck the statements, bro. We all know what we just heard. We know what the fuck that shit was said. It shouldn't have been said, bro. There's no way that mentality can exist and somebody honestly, really and truly with all their heart believe is right.
Do you feel like that's toxic masculinity?
I feel like that's toxic humanity. Like you as a human being, if you honestly think like that, I don't know, bro.
What's your thoughts on the tour?
This is why I say, like, you know when you see Instagram live accounts get suspended and shit,
yeah,
and niggas be in Instagram jail and whatnot. This should have been one of them times where Boosie should not be allowed on Instagram for about a good 2 to 3 months. Because when you say stuff, and you don't put no thought behind what you're getting ready to say. It just makes you look foolish.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? It makes you look like a buffoon. And because you have such a huge following behind you, I mean, people kind of naturally think that what you're saying is
the
like
truth.
Is the shit. Like that's how it's supposed to go.
Right.
And that's not the trend you should be setting.
Do y'all think Boosie was just clout chasing, or do y'all think he really meant that from the bottom of his heart?
One thing I learned about Boosie over these years,
That nigga ain't never clout chasing.
he don't clout chase because the clout chases him. That man says what's on his mind and how he feels, and most of the time he is not capping.
Yeah.
Facts.
I mean, like I say, yeah. I can't stand behind what Boosie said he did, cause like I said, honestly, I feel like I have listened to Boosie since I was a child, bro. And I remember him saying at 7, I'm gonna get him head at his birthday party. You know, I'll probably put the link in right here.
That's why, like, I don't
lyric.
know why people are surprised by this.
Exactly.
Because he's always hinted at doing dumb shit like that.
It ain't surprising to me. You know, he said it before. It's not like this is the first time he said
Right.
it, but they did just catch him on his live.
Right.
And I feel like he's catching a lot of the backlash because of the things that he said about D Wade's son. Now, to just play devil's advocate, D Wade would allow his son. Some would say D Wade would allow his son to make a choice about his sexuality and what he wants to be, and they letting him explore that. Now, if Boosie's son comes to him and tell him, "Hey, Dad, what's that stuff you been rapping about? This girl sucking your thing and what's that about? How does that look when Boosie say, "Oh, you want to find out? Like you want to know?"
It looks like terrible.
And he lets him experiment as well.
It looks like terrible parenting because regardless of what D Wade and Gabrielle Union allowing their child to do, it ain't got.
But that
shit
ain't
to
Gabrielle
do-
Union's child.
Whatever Dwayne Wade is allowing his child to do is not the same as having a adult perform sexual acts on your child.
On a minor.
That's a whole nother side of the spectrum that nobody. Bro, we don't even want to cross that, bro. First of all, it's rape. Plain and simple, flat out rape.
Yeah, blatant.
That is a minor having
Statutory
sex
rape to the
with an
100th
adult.
degrry.
3,000.
Yeah.
Regardless of parent consent or not, bro, that shit is sick and twisted, man.
I agree, bro. I want to give another perspective on it as well. The reason why I said toxic masculinity is because we often associate our young men and our young boys or whatever with, you know, their virginity and them losing their virginity and things like that, with them becoming a man, and it's like we applaud them at a young age.
Yeah, it's like a coming of age moment.
But we don't applaud our young girls the same way. You know what I mean? And that's why I say you have to raise your daughters the same as you would want your sons. We're growing out of double standards.
I would ask Boosie this question, and if he can answer this question to my liking, then I can't necessarily be mad at him. Would you go and get your daughter some dick?
Well, no, it was head, so he didn't technically get him pussy.
Would you
so
go get your daughter some head?
Yeah.
But let's not put it past Boosie, nigga. If he had the chance, nigga, he would go and get his son some pussy.
I mean, of course,
if you willing to orchestrate the statutory rape of your
and
own
I feel
child,
like he
nigga,
insinuated in
I
that
don't
more
think
than
that
just
you would
head.
have any limits to that. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he for sure
100.
insinuated more than just the sloppity toppity.
See, yeah. When you call it like, and that's what I say. When you call it like that, man, it's like, that's why I say Boosie, one of my look, all time favorite artists. To be 100% honest with you, but when you use language the way that he did, is no other way to interpret that than when you put it on paper and we put it black and white. You know what I'm saying? That is what it is, and it's scary to believe that it's a lot of people who agreed with him making that type of thing, and they was like, I'd rather let my kids go spend the night at his house than D Wade's.
You know what I find is fascinating is, like, you know, he got all kinds of backlash for making his comments about the whole D Wade situation. And, you know, we had an entire show about that. We were kind of in agreement and everything. Yeah. But then for him months later to come on and then say stuff like how he just did on his live, it's like, dude, you're over. First of all, your hyper masculinity has put you in a position to where you feel like you need to over sexualize your kids. Let's just be real. We as men, like, we didn't have a father that forced women on us and did shit like that. Like, we actually had to go out and seek our own sexual activity. You know what I'm saying? So we had to go ahead and do that shit. Like, that was something that our parents didn't plan out for us. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the thing, and here's the thing that you might, here's the thing that might be fucked up for the situation when it comes to Boosie. Like, how you know this doesn't play a... How you know the trauma from this experience doesn't play on his mind in the future? Like this...
And make him look at women.
It makes it look at women completely different.
Not even women
it's
himself.
like... It makes it look... Well, yeah, it makes it... And then not only that, it makes it look at you as a father. It's like, damn, like, he would really... Why would he do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, he thought it was cool. I mean, we don't know. We're not saying that these things are going to happen, but it's like you're giving your kids... You say in your live, like, oh, I'm giving my kids iPhone 11s. They can watch Pornhub and shit like that. They ain't got to watch cartoons. They ain't got to watch men kissing men on cartoons and shit. That's why they got the iPhones. And I'm like... Well, you know there's gay porn on Pornhub too. So
if they wanted to see
and XXN.com, the way you said.
That's crazy that you say it like that too.
Yeah.
Another thing that I thought about with this situation too, Boosie reminds me, and he's starting to remind me a little bit of another guy who I find to be very fucking hilarious on Twitter. But he's reminding me a lot of O.J. Simpson. And let me put this into context for you guys.
Where you going?
Let me put this into context for you guys.
I refuse to follow the nigga, but
he is fucking hilarious.
I do take a peek at his page every now and again.
I do too.
I follow
He's
and I've
fucking
not been
hilarious.
disappointed yet, for sure.
So, they couldn't get O.J. Simpson on the murder charge, correct?
Nope, but they got him on that other shit.
But they got him for stealing his own shit. Mm-hmm. Now, when we think about Boosie...
Well, breaking and entering and kidnapping too, but...
Okay. Some other shit. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Because he had a gun.
Well, let's just say he didn't learn his lesson the first time. And that was a very serious crime. You could have went to jail for your whole life.
Yeah.
And now you'll risk your freedom for something else like that or whatever. Or and I'm just saying in Boosie's situation now. Now, let's say this happened in Louisiana now. Now, let's say that city does not fuck with that man. That state does not fuck with Lil Boosie. They were mad that he got off. They are still mad. He will not, I promise you, he'll tell you himself, he ain't gonna ever move back down there because them people are out for his ass. Mm-hmm. And I just say when you do things like this, now look, you don't go to jail for murder for hire, but now you go to jail for the rape of your own son. Well, I say I'm using that word loosely. Like rape is not a word you could use loosely. So let me correct
facilitation
that. The facilitation of
the
sexual service
of his son,
of your son,
funding and orchestrating the statutory rape of your own child.
Right.
Claiming that this is supposed to shape their manhood.
Now you fuck around and go to jail for that, but you beat a murder charge, bro. How you gonna feel? How would you feel? That's what I'm like. It really reminds me of an O.J. Simpson type of thing where you get away with something and then you just fuck up on something. Just how you go to jail for that?
Toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
That's what I say. That's when it becomes
hyper masculinity is one thing.
Toxic masculinity.
Hyper masculinity exists and it's a thing, but that to have that form of thinking and say, I'm gonna make sure my son gets some pussy as soon as he can get an erection.
What if he ain't focused on all of that shit?
That's twisted.
What if he trying to do something dope right now?
We talked about this before though. And I want to ask you guys. So from y'all first time being sexually active, like I said, I was a late bloomer. Like no lie. I mean, the first time I had sex, I was like 16, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And some people say that's kind of early, but I mean, from then, I don't know.
I really feel like that's on average.
16
probably not nowadays. Nowadays, these kids wilding. Nigga.
And they fucking know.
I think for our age, 15, 16 is like average.
Yeah.
Jaleel, how old were you?
I was 13.
13.
Right.
Yeah. And even then, bro.
And this how was the woman?
She was 17. So from my personal perspective, I felt like I was too young at that time. Cause even then, like I lost it at 13, but I wasn't out like trying to have sex again after that.
But here's the thing though, bro. With your situation, she wasn't a grown woman. Like Boosie said.
17
compared to 13, bro.
But I'm just saying, a grown woman, like Boosie said, nigga. He emphasized
grown. He Boosie was like, she got me together. He was like, I know what she could do because she done got me out mine.
But even then, bro, I'm just saying,
30s,
just the fact of having sex at that age and around that age, bro, when I was younger, I didn't think about it. But now that I'm older, I feel like I was too old for that shit. I mean, I was too young for that shit. I wasn't ready. I didn't know what the fuck come with that shit. Like, I don't know, bro. It took time.
Yeah, but didn't nobody orchestrate that? Nobody forced you to do that.
Right, you found it on your own.
You had your own situation. You knew in your mind.
See,
like, okay,
I can't say
no.
Go ahead.
I didn't know in my mind. Like, I didn't know that's what was going to happen, but it happened. Like,
okay, but you under your own will, you was like, okay, I consent to doing this.
Interesting.
It's about to go down.
You 13 years, but he's 13 years old. How can you consent to anything at 13 like that? They say that you can't consent to sex at 13. What I'm saying is
legally, technically.
Legally and
in
technically.
legal matters, yes.
But okay, if just I'm and like I said, I'm not trying to.
It's kids younger than.
I'm not trying to correct people.
13 having sex.
Yes.
On their own, like they know on their own how to do it and figure it out. And
as young as 10 years old, yeah.
The people they having sex with are they same age? You believe?
More than likely.
How do two 10-year-olds get together long enough to fuck?
More than likely not.
Yeah, more like when you hear about somebody young having sex
it's usually someone older.
Yeah, somebody that's
And that's what I'm trying to say. And that's why I'm like, I feel like. You know, no, and
so,
it's
so
no
you're
shot
saying
towards
they're
Jalil.
you're saying they're like coerced into doing it. Okay.
Exactly, and I'm trying to say that Jalil may not feel comfortable. Like, I mean, you have to get past. Now, I don't want to say feel comfortable, but I want to say like admitting what happened and admitting what this is. Nigga, you was pressured by a 17-year-old to whip your shit out and let her do something to you. Like that's how that went down. Like, nigga, let's think about this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. Why you gotta make me feel?
Hey, look at the shade right now. Like, I want y'all to see that. Like, my man is really going through it right now. He's reminiscing, and this is playing on his mind.
Laugh because it's something that I've dealt with before because I've always spoken about it, and I spoke about it to my therapist, and I felt like it changed me in the way I thought and the way I moved.
Come on, mental health.
I feel like before I had sex, like. Same old bullshit as everybody else. Honor student, hella good grades, blah, blah, blah. I got pussy and all of that shit kind of like...
It's like nothing else matters. And I felt like
it was that. Like, I want that. But even then, I still didn't have sex again until I was like 15, 16.
But like I say, not by choice, though, because probably you couldn't find bitches shit.
First of all, I was shocked and surprised that shit happened the first time.
And you couldn't find chicks your age to say they gonna give it up like that.
No, for sure not.
So, you got some... impromptu pussy, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He got talked out his drawers at 13.
I was easy.
I mean, but here's the thing. If you ask most men, like, they wouldn't have had no problem having an experience like that.
But then there's a lot of men that have had that experience where it's been younger men.
But I'm saying
I'm glad you said it.
Before their first, if you ask most men, most of them wouldn't have a problem with that.
Like, well, I mean, yeah, you're right. Because, I mean, at 14, 15, like, I was like, ooh, boobies. Like, boobies. I want to touch some boobies. You know what I'm saying?
But
like,
not knowing 3 years before that, you was like, booties.
Girls, period.
Yeah,
like,
girls. Girls. And then 4 years later,
what? Bitches. I'm kicking it with my niggas. I'm hooping during nutrition time. You go from hooping during nutrition to chasing ass.
So that brings up that question of, like, you know, where we literally just said, I feel like it's some females who might be 14 and 15 who are ready to experiment and wanna find that out. But is that the best thing for them to do? And it's like with certain guidelines, there's certain guidelines in your age demographic that don't allow for certain situations to come up. Like I said, at 14, it was no way I was just gonna be with a chick that long enough to be fucking.
Yeah, there was. It was ways. It was ways. It depend on where you went to school or where you grew up at and the access you had in your area. Either your parents weren't coming home till a certain time.
Well, 14, you're right.
Or you could take, or y'all didn't take the bus home. Somebody had a car. Y'all all went to one friend's house. Like, it was a hella shit we used to do.
Like, we kind of found ourselves in opportune positions back in the day.
I found myself by myself a lot.
Nowadays, it's like kids can kind of like manifest their own opportunities to do certain shit.
And they don't need to leave the house.
Like, niggas, we had like missions we had to do this shit. And like, if you had an opportune moment, you kind of orchestrated your own way into getting that situation cracking. Like, nowadays it's different. That's why I say, like, the normal age for now for kids having their first sexual experience is probably much younger, just because it's easier now.
And also,
bro, when I was 15, 16, bro, when I was 15, 16, living in Mississippi, bro, it was like, you winter break, your parents gone all day at work, the girl you mess with live like not too far across town, Nigga, you bust that move, bro. Her parents ain't home because they at work till a certain time. And it used to be like that.
And what I'm seeing now too, also another reason in our upbringing, and I think our late blooming,
niggas got ring now.
On God, ring now.
That ring bell will fuck you up with somebody pulling up to the house though, because parents can see everything. But what I was trying to say, it now with the way that our TV is set up. Remember when radio was first coming out? NWA, they were the first ones to get the parental explicit. No, not NWA. It was Uncle Luke. Uncle Luke was the first one to get the parental advisory thing, and like I say, for us, it was the introduction of ass being a proper word that you could say on the radio.
Yeah.
Bitch. These words weren't always on radio how they are now.
Nope.
And also these sexual scenes in movies that are portrayed to younger kids. Mm-hmm. The way that even how they put in the romance and they emphasize relationships in younger Disney shows now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think y'all are on to something with the kids being younger and experiencing sex now more at a younger age, which also blurs that line of pedophilia that we're talking about with Boosie.
Yeah.
So let me go back to what Boosie says. As a parent, if my kid comes to me with the thought of smoking marijuana, mm-hmm. Let's go with smoking marijuana. It's a taboo. It's not a good thing, and it also can fuck up the brain of a developing child. Facts. You know what I mean? So, would you be more comfortable with your child going out and trying to find his way with smoking weed and doing those things,
or would you smoke a blunt with me?
You rather him come to you and talk to you about those urges, correct? Or tell you what he wants to do.
It's the same thing that was done with me with alcohol when I was younger. I had alcohol the first time around family and adults that cared about me and wanted, stuff is different in the South. It don't always.
And Boosie is from the South, so let's talk. So that's why I say I'm just trying to throw some darts at the wall and see what happens. So if his son came to him and said, "Dad, I've been hearing about this shit called head. I'm trying to see what that's like." And even before that clip, he was in that live. Boosie was also talking about I showed them boys how to put a condom on at 10. It's kind of like it's crazy to me. I'm not backing Boosie.
I know.
I'm not backing him, but I'm just saying, as a parent, you would kind of want to be the person who discusses and talks about this with your kid. But you're not going to facilitate the services. Exactly. But you will talk to them. I see.
That's the difference. It's the facilitation of the services versus you just sitting down and having a talk with your child. Now, what makes you a real man is the decision to sit down and have a talk with your child about what sex is. Yeah, teach them what a condom is. Teach them about sexually transmitted diseases, about protecting yourself, about asking his partners to be tested before you engage in sexual activity.
Kids like me.
Like, is it, of course, it's a conversation you have, but there's a line that gets crossed when you go to, I'm not just going to teach, I'm going to, bring the lesson into the classroom and let him learn.
We about to dissect the frog today, goddamn.
Right. Exactly. To me, that's worse. That's way worse.
How you feel about that, Tor?
It's like I say, it's kids are going to be curious about what the parents do. And I always grew up as do as I say, not as I do. You know what I'm saying? And my parents was from the South too, so it's like, they never they never wanted me to do dope, period. You know what I'm saying? They definitely didn't want me to do it at the house. So, my pops, when he found out about, my little shit that I was doing in the street, he was like, I never want you to do dope. But you can drink some liquor with me any fucking time. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's certain things, depending on the person, parents are going to be comfortable explaining shit to their kids depending on what it is. Because we all have certain things that we uncomfortable with, and especially as a parent, you're going to be uncomfortable with certain things. Boosie is one of the niggas that he wants his sons. He made it specific because I'm pretty sure he has little girls
daughters too. He got daughters.
So I'm pretty sure he's not doing none of the shit with his sons that he's doing with his daughters.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So it's
agreed.
There's definitely a double standard when it comes to men and women, and I think women always get that double standard as it is.
Right, and I feel like he's somebody that definitely pushes to that women do this thing, men do this thing.
Right.
It just I feel like it naturally. I'm not gonna put it on him if he ain't say it, but I feel like
you never want to over sexualize your kids at all.
Ever, bro.
Because you just want your kids to be kids.
Exactly.
But like I said, this goes to a thing where Booty, he just wants to enforce that he wants to reinforce his son's manhood. And he's not going about it in the best way, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So
I just feel like
he can't reinforce something that ain't been built yet.
He acting like a nigga who ain't never had shit. You know what I'm saying? And
he's been around way too long for that.
But that's the thing.
I can't say that. Boosie came from nothing. To know where this man came from and to know his struggles from being in the same city and watching him blossom and just seeing, it's like I think he trying to give his kids that childhood he wish he could have. But he not
pussy at 12 and 13 and 14 years old.
But we have to understand, Boosie I think I'll hear people knowing Boosie as a rapper. Boosie was literally popping and buzzing when he was a 16-year-old rapper. He was a 15-year-old rapper. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So when he was 15, he was going to these shows. He was fucking these hoes. He was talking about Masculinity, get the room and get the rental. Like, he was doing this at that age. So for him, I don't. That's what I'm saying. It's not so far-fetched.
Okay, but when you say you want to give him the life he never had,
he wished he could have had. He trying to give his kids the life
that he is giving them the life that he had.
No, he didn't have a. I see your point.
Because if he's experienced, like, okay, so if he's doing a whole lot of shit, if he's doing shit that grown men are doing at 15, 16 years old, you basically want your kids to pattern after you. And that's not to say that your kids is going to do exactly what you did at that age.
But you want to try to give them the same similar building blocks to try to get to adulthood.
Yeah, but who's to say that your kids won't bump their head along that road?
Of course. I feel like every kid... I feel like the role of the parent, and I believe we talked about this before, every role of the parent is to give them the tools that they didn't have growing up in order to make their journey a little bit easier.
It's like, listen, Boosie had to sit down for 5 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out, and it almost was like he never missed a beat. Like, he was the same nigga when he got out.
Yeah.
Who's to say that his kid, like, if they down the road, like I say, bump their head and make mistakes and do some bullshit, who's to say that they can handle that same 5 years like they pops?
As I say, and that's what I'm saying. Boosie
it's
grew
like,
up a certain way.
Are you sure
he
you
grew
want
up
your
a certain
kids?
way. Yeah.
Are you sure you want your kids to go down the same road as you? I like every father wants their kids to pattern after them, unless they was fucked up,
or to do better than them,
or to want to strive to do better, or do something completely different from what they did. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful when you want your sons or just your kids in general to pattern after you, because sometimes they may not get the same luxuries you had when you was coming down that road.
Right. I agree, man. Well, y'all, we gonna wrap this one up. Y'all, make sure y'all like, subscribe, and share this show, man. Share us
comment,
all over.
Give us the feedback.
Follow.
Y'all niggas slide in, follow the page, hit our DMs. We posting damn near daily now. You know what I'm saying? There's always some shit. We want feedback. We want questions. We want answers. We want all of that stuff. And we want to be able to bring it to y'all. And we want to be able to answer y'all questions on the show. So y'all niggas, the more y'all interact with us, the more we interact with y'all.
Facts. The
more that makes this product that we do right here every fucking week, the more it makes it better.
So y'all follow me at RealCliff225.
It's T Rich. That's it's_T with 2 E's_Rich.
Follow me on Twitter at CallMeJalil, CALLMEJALIL.
All right, y'all. We gonna see y'all on the next one. We out.
Yeah.